Let us answer this question together. Which of the following is most critical when auditing disaster recovery planning? We're looking for what is most critical when auditing disaster recovery planning. Option 1, backup frequency. Option 2, recovery time objectives. Option 3, encryption of backups. And finally, option D, vendor contracts. Please pause the video and select your answer. The correct answer is option B, recovery time objectives. But before we get there, let's look as to why the others are not correct. So for option A, backup frequency. This is important but not critical. There are situations where daily backups existed but recovery still failed due to long downtime. And then we have option C, encryption of backups. This is security, not recovery speed. Encrypted backups are safe but slow to restore. Now we go to option D, vendor contracts. These are supportive, but they are not core. Contracts can exist, but without RTOs, recovery will be ineffective. So that leaves us with option B, the correct answer, recovery time objectives. This defines acceptable downtime. In one audit, RTO misalignment caused business losses despite good backups. Here's a tip for you. Always check if RTOs align with business needs. I once flagged a mismatch where RTO was 48 hours, but business needed 4, saving millions. RTO and RPO have to be aligned with business goals or objectives. So let us answer this question. Which of the following best ensures segregation of duties in IT operations? We're looking at what best ensures segregation of duties in IT operations. Option 1, we have role-based access control. Option 2, we have strong passwords. Option 3, intrusion detection. And option D, encryption. Please pause the video and select your answer. The correct answer is role-based access control. But before we get there, let us look at the other options. We have option B, strong passwords. This is security, not segregation. Passwords protect accounts but don't prevent conflicts of interests. When we come to option C, we have intrusion detection. This detects, they do not segregate. There's a situation where experienced IDS flagging anomalies but didn't enforce duties. And then we have option D, encryption. This protects data, not duties. Encryption secures files but does not separate responsibilities. That's why A is our answer, role-based access control. This directly enforces segregation. In one SAP project, RBAC prevented developers from approving their own changes. So here is a tip for you. Use RBAC to prevent conflict of interest. I implemented this in SAP GRC and it stopped unauthorized approvals. If you want to learn more, check what is ABAC, DAC, and MAC. Let us answer this question together. Which of the following is the first step in an IS audit? We're looking for the first step in an IS audit. So option 1, we have define scope. Option 2, review controls. Option 3, test transactions. And option D, issue report. Please select your answer. The correct answer is define scope. But before we get there, let us look at the other options. So for option B, we have review controls. This comes after the scope. I once saw auditors jump into controls without scope and miss critical areas. So option B is not correct. Then we go to option C, which is test transactions. This is a later step. If you test early, confusion can be caused because objectives aren't clearly defined. So option C is also not the right answer. Then we have option D, issue report, which is now the final step. If we go with this option, this would report without proper scope, which would lack credibility. Now that leaves us with option A, which is our correct answer, which is defining the scope. This sets boundaries for the audit. In one audit, an unclear scope led to wasted effort on irrelevant systems. Here's a tip for you. Always start audits by clearly defining scope. I learned this the hard way during my first audit when scope creep doubled audit time for an IT audit that I was conducting.